Oh my god! What the f was that? Oh my god! Oh!
Venturing deep into the depths of the forest alone at night can be horrifying.
What is that? Dude, what is that?
But what happens when you encounter someone or something you'd rather never meet? Tonight, we're delving into 15 of the most terrifying forest encounters ever recorded. Long Neck. A vlogging camper named Dee was hiking along a lonely nighttime trail when she discovered strange footprints in the mud. When she begins to investigate, she hears strange noises to her left. It sounds like someone is carrying a tune, though it's initially hard to make out. This startles Dee enough to make her exclaim her name and intentions into the darkness.
Hello. Again, my name is Dee. I'm not here to harm anybody.
As her flashlight searches around, she begins hearing something moving close.
Stop.
As the sound of heavy branches which are breaking the silence can be heard nearer and nearer. Dee is obviously feeling uneasy as she begins to plead with the unknown, seemingly begging for her life.
Jesus Christ, in Jesus' name, leave me be. Stop. Stop. Stop.
The eerie noises grow closer, and Dee begins to back away slowly. But as she does, she captures a strange-looking creature with an incredibly long neck peering out at her from the surrounding darkness.
What is that? Dude, what is that? Is it just leaves on the tree?
This is when Dee decides to cut her camping trip short, leaving whatever that was well enough alone. Matlock Cemetery. A couple of friends decide to camp out in the local forest in the dead of night. When the two of them end up bored, they then decide to bravely venture into a nearby graveyard called Matlock Cemetery, hoping to get a good scare. That's when the two of them witness something terrifying. Armed with their phones and flashlights in tow, they arrive at the cemetery, only to be greeted by a mysterious figure peering out at them from behind a tree.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm sketched out.
This is scary.
Hey, did you see that?
Oh my god. What?
Did you see that?
What the fuck was that?
Curious, the boys take a further look, and that's when things somehow get even worse. As they near the tree when they first saw the creature, they come across what looks to be a man in baggy clothes, sporting some kind of mask.
Oh my god. What the was that?
Heard something.
What the was that? Oh my god. Oh my god. What the was that? Oh my god. Oh!
That's when the two of them run for the hills, deciding to pack up and head home.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the was that? Oh my god. Oh!
Murder House. A YouTuber named Carlos stumbles upon an abandoned house tucked away deep within the sprawling forest and decides to explore, though the strange and unsettling atmosphere looming around the area almost has him turning back. But his curiosity gets the better of him, so he bravely decides to enter through the garage. Little does Carlos know, he's about to meet a nightmare head-on. As Carlos moves through the decrepit home, strange noises begin echoing from the bowels of the basement.
In the basement. Hello? Hello?
He goes on to explore, but to his surprise, he finds no one. As he moves to a secondary garage, he begins to hear heavy footsteps from directly above him. He shouts for someone to respond, but the noises cease.
What the hell is going on? What the frick is going on here? Hello? Hello?
Stupidly, Carlos moves forward, stumbling across an axe laid upon a sheet of plastic with visible blood spots everywhere.
Oh, what the hell is this? There's plastic everywhere. Downstairs here. What the hell is that? There's freaking blood splatter everywhere on the roof.
After looking out of the window, he sees a figure dressed in a yellow raincoat. The same one that Carlos saw hanging up before. And that's when he realizes the house isn't abandoned at all. The figure seems to wave at him, but Carlos decides to leave, fearing greatly for his life.
The frig is that? Oh my god.
The visitor. A man is awoken one night to notifications from his cabin security camera, alerting him to motion in his cabin's backyard. He and the family go to cabin often on the weekends to camp, fish, and hike the days away, so safe to say it's a very coveted place for them. But what he spots will forever haunt him. Take a look. The footage shows a strange, elusive, human-like figure peeking from behind the garage. It has glowing white eyes and moves in an uneasy, inhuman-like way, but its eyes remain entirely focused on the camera. The man claims that the cabin is very remote and not too easy to access, so it's unlikely that it could be human. Even if it was human, it doesn't make it any less terrifying, perhaps even more so. What do you make of this strange happening? Paranormal, or someone with abnormal intentions? You be the judge. Altar worship. An abandoned church in the remote forest of Brazil carries an unsettling legacy, so a team of camping vloggers decide to investigate. Little did they know, however, their lives were about to change for the worse. As the team navigate the ruins of this long-forgotten church, they stumble across a decaying altar.
Olha esse altar. Oco, né? Será que tem algum túnel aqui embaixo, mano?
But as the team approaches the altar, a strange sound echoes from within the bowels of the forest.
No meio do caminho teve grito. Isso é da fé.
It sounds like a badly wounded animal, howling out as if it is being brutally tortured. The noises cease, and the team continues to explore the ruins. As they make their way back around to the altar, this time, they notice someone kneeling before it, a solitary candle flicking eerily in the wind.
Entra. Não. Sério, cara. Que isso aí, Alan?
The man seems to be engaged in prayer, but for whatever reason, the team decides to go closer, but are then greeted with the same howling noises echoing from the forest once again. As they make their way out, the praying man can be spotted moving to the left, walking as if he appeared undead.
Isso aqui é tenebroso, pô. Tem daquilo ali, mano. Misericórdia.
This is when the team decides it's better to leave the man well enough alone. Ghost Girl. A family begins to notice that the items they keep putting on their daughter's grave seem to disappear days later, which is strange, considering the graveyard is tucked away in the heart of a very remote forest, far away from any town or city. Curious, they decide to set up a trail cam in hopes of capturing whatever animal was robbing their daughter's burial site. What they manage to capture will live with them forever. Take a look. The grave robber turns out to be a little girl who visits the grave at night and proceeds to remove items and take them out of sight. Disturbed, they contact the owner of the cemetery, who informs them this is somehow the least strangest thing they've ever seen, as the cemetery has been apparently violently haunted for centuries, with reports ranging from demonic spirits to disembodied moaning. Was the little figure they caught the ghost of a child looking for toys to play with? That's for you to decide. The Shape. A couple of campers are driving down a remote path into the pitch-black forest when they stumble across something large blocking the path ahead.
Mira.
No mames, ve. Mames, eso está bien cabrón.
Curious, they decide to drive closer. As their headlights further illuminate the path ahead, they spot a mass of black hovering over what looks to be a body. The mass moves very oddly, seemingly feasting on what looks like its dinner.
No te pases de lanza.
It appears to have limbs of some kind, though it's hard to tell exactly. As its movements are so inhuman, it's hard to even comprehend what's happening here. The body seems to be alive though, as it too makes movements with its very human arms. Some commenters feel as if the figure seems to be attempting to inhabit the body. Others are certain it's some kind of hoax. What do you think? Let us know down below.
Mira. No mames, ve. Mames, eso está bien cabrón.
Lady in the trees. A man was walking a nature trail not too far from the city when he began to notice something strange to the left of him. Curious, he whips out his phone and begins to record what looks like a shadow of some kind perched high above in a tree. It seems to be dressed in white, with long, flowing black hair. At first, the man mistook it for some kind of Halloween decoration, but suddenly, the figure moves. And that's when the man decides to make a run for it, opting for a different route home. Dog thing. A Brazilian man was driving a remote road to his campsite when a very strange creature walked out right in front of him. The man hastily stops his car and initially believes the creature to be hurt. But as he gets closer, he notices something wasn't quite right. Watch. He first believes it to be a dog, but the strange patterns around its eyes and mouth suggest otherwise. He then thinks it could be a maned wolf, the only kind of wolf in Brazil, but they look more like foxes, with their orange hair and large ears. The comments are mystified, attempting to find a suitable and explainable theory, but no one seems to know what this creature could be exactly. Village spirit. A camper was hiking a remote trail in Essex, England, when he began to feel a little uneasy. Naturally, he decides to take out his phone and record the eerie surroundings. This is what he captured. A thin, lurking mist in the shape of a figure can be spotted to his left, moving oddly through the trees. The figure seems to have both a head and hands visible, though it can be a little hard to make out at first. The longer you look at it, the longer it looks more and more like a ghostly person. The footage ends just as the figure dissolves, leaving more questions than answers. Jeeper Creepers. A camper was exploring the area around his campsite when he captured something bizarre. As he's making his way back to his tent, he begins to hear something odd occurring from deep within the otherwise silent night. It sounds as if something huge is making its way menacingly through the brush, seemingly ready to attack. As the camper maneuvers his flashlight to his right, he sees it. A pair of flowing eyes attached to what looks like an unchanging smile, lurking there in the distance. When the light moves to it, it seems to stand up, only to stare directly back at the man, swaying back and forth in a very unsettling manner. Comparing the height of the eyes to the trees beside it, it seems abnormally tall. The camper whistles at the creature, and as soon as he does, the creature retreats, right back into the darkness from whence it came. Shaggy Man. A trail camera stationed at an investigation site deep within the surrounding forest manages to capture something strange. At first, the footage captures what looks to be an armed man making his way through the denseness of the trees. Why the person is armed with such a heavy weapon is unclear, but only 3 seconds as the armed figure moves out of frame. That's when it captures what looks like a mass of black peering out from behind one of the trees. The creature looks to have glowing white eyes and what seems to be visible teeth, with a mess of black fur surrounding it. It doesn't look like a bear or a wolf, and the way it moves suggests something very unnatural. Whatever it is, the footage ends there, leaving itself unidentified for now. The Lurker. A woman and her dog are walking along a remote forest when they both begin to notice something strange lurking in the distance. The woman's dog makes a run for it, much to her dismay.
No, Ziggy, no!
But the dog stops dead in its tracks when it sees it, a black shape trudging through the grass to their right. The shape suggests a human, dressed entirely in black, but it's hard to make out given the quality of the footage. When the woman notices the figure, it hastily moves its way out of the frame, suggesting it didn't want to be seen. Was the woman being watched by some strange man from a distance? Though the video ends there, the account that posted the clip has since been deleted, which begs the question, what was that figure? And what exactly was its intentions? Russian roulette. A camper in Russia was attempting to find the perfect campsite when he caught something strange lurking just ahead of him. The forest around the man is dense and remote, suggesting it is frequented often. As the man pans his camera at his immediate surroundings, he spots a large black figure moving just uphill. Looking as if it was attempting to hide. Once the man notices the creature, it attempts to duck for cover, but the creature is so large and hulking, it's almost impossible for it not to be seen. Some suggest the man captured Bigfoot, while others are convinced it's merely a bear. Though, as some commenters state, there are no black bears in Russia, which leaves the creature's identification unknown. Luz Mala. In a dense forest in remote Argentina, a group of campers were out late one night when they spotted a strange, unknown creature laying on the forest floor. The creature itself is massive, entirely black in color, and it looks almost unidentifiable, something you feel you've seen before, but only in a nightmare. The creature itself is hunched over, looking as if it is pawing at the ground, bending itself into a very grotesque shape. It doesn't look at all human, with some going on to say this is a sighting of Luz Mala, or evil light, a spirit that brings bad omens after laying eyes upon it. Do you think these campers captured the Luz Mala, or is there a better explanation for what they've discovered? Let us know down below.